Hey Punch Punch, my name is Richie from Punchboard Paradise, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. One, we have video. Two, I've got a lot of games on the floor of my game room. So today we're going to start going through my collection, hopefully getting rid of games. We're going to push in on this shelf right behind me, and we're going to get started. All right, Punch Punch, this is going to be the first shelf, and I don't know if I said this during the intro, but we're probably going to do about 9 videos. I have about 9 shelves in here roughly, so a video per shelf. I'm going to give you a little peek at the top. The top is safe. It's got Cloud Spire, which I haven't played yet, but very excited to. Project L, it's a game I play with the family quite often, and then Star Realms, one of my wife's favorite deck builders. So let's get started here. And I'm also shocked at how much Marvel Champions I own, but it's a fantastic game. Thank you, Chad. So we're going to start. I think Red Cathedral can go, honestly. It's a good game. It's not a great game, and I honestly just do not have room for just good games. The expansion didn't really add much, and since Devere makes their game so small, having those 2 boxes gone will help. Medici, safe. Role Player, safe. Ginkopolis, fine. It's almost gone. It'll be safe. Tulip Bubble I should really get rid of, if I'm being honest with myself. The odds that I'm going to play it again are slim. No, it's going to stay. I really like the production of Tulip Bubble, so it's going to stay. Tricky Time Crisis for Northwoods, both safe. If we're going down here, the New Spirit is one of my favorite Uwe Rosenberg games. Terra Mystica safe. Trick Takers, Haggis, good to go. Barrage, I think it's in my top 10. Brussels 1893. I'm pretty sure I have 2 copies of this. I have the original version, and then this is the new print. So I'll probably end up just keeping this new print and getting rid of the original version. Isle of Cats, Explore and Draw. Ahoy, I skipped over that. Ahoy, fine. And I'm going to hang on to it. I want to check out the expansion and see what changes there. If the expansion doesn't do it for me, then it may go. Isle of Cats. I don't like the base game. This Explore and Draw version is just a faster, lighter version of that. It can go. It can go. Marco Polo 2 should probably go because I don't play them very often, but they were and are still some of my favorite just pure Euro games. So I think I'll hang on to them. Regicide, great little solo. Well, I mean, you can play it more than solo. I mainly play it solo. Card game. Nana, also a great little card game. Heckmech, which is a Knizia dice game. Solid little dice game. We play with the family quite a bit, so that's going to stay. Hamlet. Woo, Hamlet could go. But I have the expansion on order. So I'm gonna wait till that fulfills, and then Hamlet's I'm just gonna pull Hamlet out. It's gonna go on the sell shelf. We'll get rid of it eventually. All right, that's that section. We're going to move the camera down a little bit and keep on going. All right, on to this section. So we have a Feast for Odin, which is safe. I think that is my favorite Rosenberg, especially with the expansion. The expansion is fantastic. Scout is safe. Agricola. Ugh. Yeah, Agricola is gone, along with the expansions. I understand why some people like it. And I'll be honest with you, Caverna, I would say, I prefer Caverna over Agricola, but I don't even really want to play Caverna all that often anymore. So Agricola is never going to get to the table. So let's just get that out of there. Scout goes back. Okay. Then we have Clans of Caledonia. I'm a big sucker for the whole Terra Mystica system and games that use it, that being one of them. Also very excited about the expansion for that when that comes out. All the Splotters that I have kept here are safe. I may have one that's going to be going as we move down my shelves. I believe this is Trails. Yeah, Trails, which is just a little spin-off of Parks, which I already own. This just doesn't get played. It's actually a fine game, but it just never gets played, so that's gone. Wide Earp is a classic around here. I think that might be It might be, it's either that or Castle and Burgundy are the most played between me and my wife, just as a couple. So that will stay. Palaces of Carrara, another game that I own 2 copies of because they re-released it. I have not tried the new version of it yet. I think possibly they got rid of some expansion stuff, which I want. So I'm going to hang on to my copy of that. Here's Caverna. We talked about it. It's safe for now, but honestly, it may go down the road. And then far over to the right there, we have Insider from Oink Games, safe, and Biblios, which is my favorite Stephen Finn game. So we'll hang on to that. Then jumping down here, we have Martian Dice. Martian Dice is just a little TMG dice game by Scott Olms. It's kind of, I mean, it's in the same vein as like Zombie Dice, but just not as good. So it's gone. It's gone. 23 is just a little Amigo card game. I don't play it that often. It's weird. It's got just kind of weird scoring a little bit. But I like having weird card games, so we'll hang on to that. Even though I like weird card games, I don't really like bad card games, and that's kind of what Pai Mao Flaumen is. I mean, it's not a bad card game. It's kind of boring. It was also re-released as Plum, so if I'm going to play it, I'll probably get the new version with the new components, which I don't think I'm going to do. So that's gone. Gentis. Yeah, Gentis is gone. This is the deluxe version. Same with Orleans is the deluxe version. But it just doesn't get played. I wish it did. I like the system. I know they're taking the Gentis system and putting it into a different game. So hopefully that's good. I'll definitely check that out. Orleans is safe. I finally actually got it back to the table. It used to be in my top 10. Maybe even close to my top favorite game. But it just doesn't get played all that often anymore, but it does still get played from time to time. And now they have added it to BGA. I think I'm gonna, dip back into the expansions and stuff on that one. So that will hang around. Port Royale, one of my favorites, not going anywhere. Taj Mahal, this is a game that I have bought and sold twice. This copy is Scott Bird's that I bought at PPCon 2 years ago. And I just want to try it. I bought the Wind Rider version when they released it. It didn't get played then. I sold it. And then Scott had this for sale for like $10 at our con. So I picked it up there. Puerto Rico can go. I don't mind Puerto Rico, especially with the expansion, but it just doesn't get played. So it's gone. And I think they're also re-releasing that here pretty soon. So maybe I'll check out that version. I won't, but maybe I will. The Manhattan Project. This is one of my first games when I got into the hobby. And I think that's the only reason that it's been hanging around. It has a nice little insert in there. But I honestly, I don't think I've played it in, at least 5 years I have not played it. So it should probably go. I'm going to pull it. I'm pulling it. Firenze safe. A little mean tower building game. I like it quite a bit. A Handful of Stars. Still haven't had a chance to play A Handful of Stars. I'm going to hang on to it. I know it's a re-implementation of A Few Acres of Snow, which I enjoy, but there is that broken strategy. And I think Clef has played, Clef has definitely played a Handful of Stars, and I know he's enjoyed it. So I'm excited to try it out. Hallertau, yeah, it's gone. I don't even have anything to say about it. So it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Oof, Fields of Arle. Man. Fields of Arle is a good game. It's a very good game. I'm going to hang on to it for now. I don't know why, but I'm going to hang on to it for now. I'm going to come back to that eventually, I think, but today you're safe, Fields of Arle. But your days are numbered, I think. Bamboo. I bought Bamboo off the Schmidtkins at PPCon this year, or this past PPCon. Haven't tried it yet, so we'll hang on to it for now. And that is it for this section. So we got a fair amount of games out there and created a lot of space. So I'm happy about that. All right, so now we're gonna just move down to the final portion of this shelf and of this video. All right, moving on to this section, we have got London by Martin Wallace. Fantastic little card game. Well, they've turned it into a card game. It used to be a full board game, but I like what they changed about it. And the production from Osprey Games is fantastic. Carpe Diem, still a game that I actually bust out. It's ugly. Ugly as all get out. And I think they released like 3 or 4 versions of it, and every version was ugly. It's wild. I'm going to hang on to it. I do like the scoring system in that. Bora Bora. I like Bora Bora, but honestly, I'm never going to pull it back out again. Yeah, it's gone. It's just never going to get pulled out again. Unless someone who lives in the Omaha area really wants to play Bora Bora with me, I have a good feeling that's just never going to get played again. So it's going to go. Riverboat, which is a Kiesling game, and I'm a huge Kiesling fan. So I'm going to hang on to that. It is a good game. It's not as good as Heaven and Nail, which I think came out at the same time, and they both kind of have that. In Heaven and Nail, it's the brewmaster, and in Riverboat, it's the guy. I don't know what he does, but he moves down just kind of like the brewmaster. Not as good of a game, but still a good game. San Juan, another reason why I got rid of Puerto Rico, because I'll just play San Juan. It's quicker, snappier, gives me a feel enough of Puerto Rico that all I need is San Juan. Hansa Teutonica, I've played it once. I have not played the big box, and my one play of it was just fine. But I want to try it again because I've heard that it's a super mean game. But just our play kind of fell flat and no one was really mean in it. So I definitely want to try it again. It's a tough game though in my house because I usually play, 2-player games. It's usually either me and my wife or me and my son. It's rare that I'm playing, complex, heavy games in my house, but I want to try it out. Genotype. Someone gave this to me as I think a Christmas gift. I haven't touched it. I still want to try it out though, so I'm going to hang on to that one. At the Gates of Loyang, I enjoy quite a bit, so we'll hang on to that. And then Chinatown, which is a fantastic negotiation game where you yell at your friends to try to screw them over making deals. Not going anywhere. Caper Europe, which is a little 2-player game, which I like quite a bit. So, and you might be able to see off to the far right there is the playmat for it. PAX Premier, Safe, Boone Lake. Ooh, Boone Lake. I'm going to hang on to Boone Lake. I haven't tried the expansion yet. If the expansion doesn't really do anything for me, I think Boone Lake's going to go. Yeah, I think it's going to go because I would much rather play one of the variants of Great Western Trail over Boone Lake, and you still get that kind of rondel running around in circles type feel. Lorenzo, which used to be a top game for me. I think it was my number 1 for a few years. I still love it. It just doesn't hit the table as often, but it still hits the table every once in a while. Over to the far right there, we have Valley of the Kings, which they reprinted as like a deluxe version in a Ticket to Ride size box, which is ridiculous. But it's a fun little card game, so I'll hang on to that. Jack the Ripper Mystery Rummy. My wife and I, we love Mike Fitzgerald's Rummy series. Wyatt Earp, which is not officially a part of that series, but it kind of is probably our favorite. Jack the Ripper is probably our second favorite. So that's going to stay. Then I'm going to tilt the camera just forward just a little bit so you guys can see the bottom here. So we have Le Havre, that's safe. Troyes, it's probably going to go in the next couple of years here, but I still like Troyes quite a bit. I don't know why. I just do. Gollum, I like the theme of Gollum, but the actual game is not all that great. Yeah, Gollum's probably going to go here. I'm holding the camera, so I'm not going to pull anything out here. I'll do that after I set the camera back down. So Gollum, we're going to say, is going to go. Watch, I have not played yet. I love the theme of Watch. The game is probably just mediocre from reading the rules and see how it plays, but I still want to try it. So I'll hang on to that. Horrified gets a lot of play around the house. Not one of Knox's favorite games. He loves cooperative game, and it's a good one. Plant It. My wife, she's obsessed with plants right now, so that's not going anywhere. Discoveries. I bought this, I think, off of PC at, I don't think it was this past PPCon, but maybe the one prior. I don't know why. I'll be honest with you. I've owned it before, and I got rid of it, and I don't particularly care for the game that it's based off of, the Lewis and Clark. But I did want to try it one more time. That's why I bought it from PC, I think. So I'm going to try it one more time. Via Magica Can Go. That is a game that I think re-implements. I can't remember the name of the game. It's that bingo game with Caesar on the front. I can't remember what it's called. I'll insert if I remember to do that in the video. But anyways, it re-implements that game. It's a bingo-esque game. I hung on to it to play with my kids. Knox got over it pretty quick. Isla's getting to the age where she can play games like that, and I showed her the box and said, hey, you want to try this? And she said no. So Via Magica, gone. Cascadia, gone. Cascadia is just boring to me. Calico, you can see a couple boxes down, is my preferred version of that system. It's just a lot more interesting. Your choices lessen as the game goes on, whereas Cascadia, they just keep expanding. Cascadia, I think, is great. It's still a great like family weight game, but boy, it's just kind of boring to me. So that's gonna go. Let's Go to Japan. I enjoyed Let's Go to Japan. I really like the theme probably more than the actual game. But I also have porcelain bowls for it, so we're gonna hang on to it for a little bit. And like I said, Calico is my preferred game between that and Cascadia. And then that last game over there is another mystery rummy game, Escape from Alcatraz, which is our third favorite. And there's a lot more games in the mystery rummy series. We've owned them and we've gotten rid of them. These are the 3 that we have kept. So let's go ahead and pull out the games that we said. We said gone. And then we said Cascadia and Via Magica. All right, Punch Bunch, that's it for this video. I'm happy. I think we did a good job. We made some space. So, of course, there's enough games on the floor here that this will just be filled again. But that's fine. We're going to keep going the next episodes, and we're going to get rid of games. So, like and subscribe if you want to see more of stuff like this from Punchboard Paradise. And thanks for watching.